I beg, as soon as they steal from me, more not even day nice now. There's a way you be stealing from somebody, eh? You still be nice to the person, made they know, made they no suspect.
Peter Okoye has come back with a lot more evidence showing how he was allegedly cheated by his brother Jude Okoye and possibly his twin brother Paul Okoye.
So I did not have any company that I run with. I'm only running with Northside Entertainment, which was Psquare and me.
Did you guys hear that? Exactly what I'm talking about. Hear him louder. Hear Jude louder. He doesn't run any company except Northside Entertainment, which is Psquare and him. He didn't say three of us as Psquare. Now that confirms that Jude was a student, like I said earlier. He was schooling. He wasn't employed. He doesn't have any company. I won't say he was jobless, because I would say, Jude, you are jobless. Because when me and I and Paul were in school, still doing Psquare, we were working. We were University of Abuja. So, Jude, you were in school. But I and Paul were Psquare, working. You just confirmed it. You were not running any company. You did not employ anybody. You're unemployed. So, St. Paul said that Jude has been running Northside Music before we moved into Lagos. Almost 24 years ago. Their stories are not tallying. And again, you said you signed Cynthia Morgan in October 2013. And this is the contract. It has Northside Music Inc. But in 2013, you've not registered it. It means that you signed Cynthia Morgan with unregistered company. Right? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Listen.
I'm only running with Northside Entertainment, which was Psquare and me. I was like, okay, to make it a little formal then, I now used the letterhead of Northside Entertainment to print the first page of that agreement. But whatever write-up that is about the agreement is talking about Northside Music Inc. This was 2013. We're talking about 11 years ago.
So, Jude, that means you signed Cynthia Morgan with unregistered company in 2013 because Northside Music was registered in 2015. Right? So, 2 years after signing her, that was when you registered Northside Music. With our own company, Northside Entertainment letterhead paper. Jude. After I submitted the petition, the ongoing investigation was already going on and all that. I was about to embark on a journey to Turkey, Istanbul, of course, to go and do, when I did, of course, you also, I did my hair implant. There was a document they demanded. So I was going through my document and all that. Guys, you need to see what I found. Oh my God. I found, in same 2013, I found a Northside Entertainment statement of account that we used, we used in going to, I think, America Embassy, one of these embassies. I think it's like 6 months statement of account. Remember, this is a USD account, like dollar account, right? Now, I'm going to show you guys the statement of account. Of course, now some people go shout, say, oh, so Psquare, we are making this kind of money. Don't worry, Psquare no small. Psquare no small. Remember, we share 3 ways. If 50,000 goes to Peter, it goes to Paul, it goes to Jude. So this is the account. When you look left top, you see it's Northside Entertainment Limited. When you look top right, you see USD. That shows it's a dollar account. If you look further down, where it says statement period, it says 2nd of March 2013 to 31st of October 2014. That's the duration of this statement of account. Now, if you look at the first page, it circled $50,000 into 3 places, which is supposed to be Peter, Paul, and Jude. But see, the first 50,000 went to Jude's account. Because remember, Jude is the one signing all this, doing all these transactions, not me. All right? Or Paul. Now, the first 50,000 was sent to Jude's account. Jude sent it to his account. The second 50,000, Jude now sent it to his account. The third 50,000 below, Jude now sent to to me, Peter Okoye's account. Now, if you look at it properly, Jude sent 50,000 twice to himself. If Jude decides to send Paul 50,000 in the next page, it means that Jude is now stealing from Peter and Paul. But if he sends Paul 100,000, it means that Paul and Jude are stealing from me. Now, let's go to the next page. In the next page, look at very well. Who did Jude, the second one, who did Jude send $100,000 to? It's Paul, and also Okoye. Now, in the box ones, he now sent 20,000 to Peter and Paul. I can't remember why the money was there, but we'll come back to that. Again, look at the two second ones. Jude again, the first second one again. Who did Jude send 100,000 to? To himself. The second one, who did Jude send 100,000 to? To himself. Right? Swipe again. The next one, who did Jude send $150,000 to? He sent it to himself. Look down again. I didn't circle it, but if you look down, you see another 50,000. Jude sent the 50,000 to himself. Now, Jude sent 150,000 to himself. Now, who did Jude send $150,000 in the next page? Paul Okoye. This is what these guys were doing to me. Because if they give me a statement of account, if you look at the amount there, it says $3.2 million. I'll just look at it that side, I'll forget. What that means that the aggregators we are paying inside Northside Entertainment, Paul and Jude were splitting it. Yes. And you guys think it's fair. Like I said before, when they steal from me, still they try to pin me down. It no go better for two of them. So, remember when I said we were all invited and I came with two of my lawyers? When they asked Jude, do you know you committed an offense here? Jude said, yes. But guess what? When we're having more like everybody's arguing whether this one's took this amount, Paul is claiming Jude is the Psquare. One of the investigators now say, now, let's do it this way. Three of you all agreed in your statement that you share three ways. Jude, here is how we can prove to you guys that you guys have been unfair to Peter. You guys say this. Breakdown of the sum investigated by EFCC at the meeting held on the 6th of June 2024. Account investigated EcoBank, Zenith Bank, and FCMB. Let's find out how much left Northside Entertainment to individual account. All of us agreed we share three ways. If they've suspected they've transferred 10 billion naira to Peter, Jude 10 billion, Paul 10 billion. Now let me tell you what they did to me. Watch. Northside Entertainment FCMB dollar account. They discovered 368,950,000. That 350, what left to Jude's account is 211,650 dollars. $211,000. While Jude was getting 211,000, Paul was getting $78,650. See how much Peter got? 41,800. Tell me, how do you feel? They found naira in some account, because that's the US account we had before we broke up. They found 19,400,858. One went to Jude, inside 19 million, 5 million. One went to Paul, it's 10 million. Peter got nothing. I'm not a fool. EcoBank, they found over 1.7 million. Inside $1.7 million. What went to Jude's account is $1.1 million plus. While Jude is getting that, Paul was getting $473,000. Peter was getting $268,000. And would they share three ways? While Jude was getting net 79 million naira plus, Paul was getting 69 million naira plus. Peter was getting 50 something. I said I shouldn't fight for my right. No. Until depression catch me. No, they pray make I broke. Peter no get money again. So that they go laugh me. Never see anything. And the sole secret account, Northside Music, that they created. Total inflow, almost $2 million, $1,925,000. Jude got everything. Lest I forget, this was what the EFCC investigators were telling us, and we're all jotting it down. They have their own copy that I'm sure they jotted it down by themselves. While they are doing this, the Zenith Bank account officer was being arrested. He refused to bring the statement of account. He was detained. They were now printing it. I'm sure they discovered, I don't want to tell you how many hundreds of thousands of dollars or 1.something million that went to Jude again. The question is, was there ever a time that on this account they gave Peter more? No. Now, under here, Northside Music. Jude created Northside Music, both FCMP, both EcoBank, both Zenith, and same Access Bank he wanted us to open. And this was the same game tactics they used on Cynthia Morgan. Probably Cynthia Morgan will be looking for her money inside Northside Inc. Just as for me, I'll probably be looking for her own money inside Northside Entertainment, not knowing that the money are inside Northside Music. Because when Jude was being investigated, they told him to account for the money, the inflows on Northside Music. There was over hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can't even remember, that he said the money was not for Psquare. It belongs to his artist. The moment I heard that, I called Cynthia Morgan. I said, I found your money. She went to EFCC. There's a process. I don't know how far she has gone though, but I did fight my own. I don't give her this thing. Cynthia, go and fight for your money. Jude, you're wicked. You're very wicked. If you not only say that they steal from me, it would have been better. He would have been stealing from me and be nice to me. Steal from me and went online to bring me down. Mr. 99%. For you to tell EFCC in my front that Psquare, that the same crime Jude committed, that me and you committed it to, that we diverted money to. They asked you where. I said because we set up Square Root Entertainment. Jude is not our manager. We got two managers. We now told them it was a diversion. Highest betrayal. I thought it was just only saying it within the office of the EFCC. Paul, you took it to the public. You said it in public. Guys, watch.
It's Peter that is doing this, and I'm here. He's putting him in prison. I'm here to bring him out.
Okay, now, so, but Peter is a brother too.
I didn't deny that he's not my brother. Okay?
So, are you saying you're tilting towards Peter more than...
I understand the issues because you know why...
Sorry, towards Jude more than Peter?
It has something to do... I'm only standing for the truth. Because let me tell you something. The same crime they accuse him that he did, then Peter is guilty, Paul is guilty.
So, Paul, you look at me in my face and you tell me that you and I came back as Psquare. We set up our own management company. We perform. We sweat. Went on tours. because the money that we are making, we are not remitting to Jude. You told the EFCC that it was also diversion, and you even said it in public. Oh God. Boy, you're rude. No wonder. Mr. 99%. No wonder you wanted Jude to be our manager. Should I tell you guys what happened? Here's what the deal is. This is where I'm going to end this topic. So, when Psquare got back, Jude walked up to Paul and said, listen, as you don't get your Psquare back, this money, we share aside. I will use that the whole my side. Paul said no. That whatever he makes in Psquare, we share 50-50 with Jude. So long as Jude is sharing this one with him. That's exactly what happened. Now this will now bring us the reason. The 90 million Paul claimed he borrowed Jude. He never borrowed Jude. It was those royalties. Jude and Paul were not talking for 2 months. Paul calculated the money that he's been collecting. Within that 2 months, he realized that Jude had not given him the money. That's why he said Jude is owing him 90 million. True. How can you say Jude is owing 90 million when Jude can pull out statement of account nearly $700,000 that he has in his account? Why would I borrow 90 million from you when I have this account, money in my account? Paul, why don't you tell the world the truth? That the 90 million was not in existence. It was because Jude was supposed to remit money that he's been stealing. You guys have been sharing. I found myself in the midst of their shady business. That was when we finally took Psquare catalog to those people. I said, I don't bust. That told him and Jude, they share. 3 of us, they share. I look stupid, huh? No, I never see anything.
Please, I want to ask you people, I have 1 million naira to send to anybody that can go on Google and find any time I posted a tweet or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, any defamatory whatever on Peter's wife. Please, the first person to send that thing to me on my DM will win 1 million naira.
Jude Okoye. Now you see, statement like this, that you're going to offer 1 million naira, this is where I feel pity for Paul. Guys, I can guarantee you guys, Jude, we all know. Jude, you know you use Paul as a decoy. Yes. You try to manipulate Paul to say some things online so that at the end of the day, you're not setting up Paul for dragging. Now look at what you just said. Meanwhile, look at the innocent post Ola posted to wish I and Paul happy birthday. That's Paul's response. Now look at Jude's comment underneath. There has never been a time Paul have ever had maybe a physical altercation, argument, insult, on Lola. But on Jude's side is opposite way. Jude have threatened Lola in front of Lola and myself. Jude have insulted Lola in front of me. And I wanted to hide this governor. It was actually Governor Imoke who invited us over for peace talk. And let me tell you what the man did that day. By the time we arrived, he looked at Paul. Paul started talking. Paul finished talking. He said, Jude, your turn. Jude finished talking. Let me tell you what that governor did that very day. He said, Peter, you're not going to say anything. I thought it was like a team work, like, Governor, I'm not going to say anything. Why? They've all said their own side of the story. He said, Peter, I don't think you need to say something. I said, why? You look at me and say, Peter, Paul, if I were you guys, do you know what your problem is? It's this Jude. If I were you guys, fire him. And I said, oh. That was when Jude started saying, hey, you know what? As it is, they should tell Lola. Anyway, he says Lola is going to shoot her. Jude, you have so many times, countless times, insulted Lola in front of me, in front of people, in front of saying that tata. In fact, I don't want to even say this now. What if I tell you guys that Jude have insulted my son? Jude called my son a bastard in front of me and Lola. And yes, I will tell you guys this short story. Maybe I wanted to hide it. Some years back, when my girlfriend then Lola was pregnant, I didn't want the news to break me. I decided to break the news. Because then, there was too many baby mama of social celebrity, baby mama, social celebrity gave birth, social celebrity impregnated. I didn't want that to happen to me. We went for a Sound City Awards. We won 3 awards that day. When we were leaving the venue, the paparazzi, the media people gathered us. Of course, we held the awards. We were having more like an interview. Next thing I did was, they said, well, where are we dedicating the awards? I picked up the first award. I said, this award is for God, I am Almighty. You know, I praise God with that one. Second one award, I said, I dedicate this award to the fans and to everyone who has supported us. The last one, I say, this one is for the mother of my unborn child and my incoming son. Next thing, Paul and Jude walked away from the media setting. They picked the car, turned around, and entered the car. We drove. Left the venue towards headed to 3rd Main, and Jude pulled over and said, what was that for? I said, what's the problem? Now, do you know how this thing is going to ruin our career? I said, how ruin our career? I don't want the news to break me. I decided to break the news. The last thing I want to see online, start saying, this idiot, this is that. No, once I break the news, it's no more going to be a rumor. By the time we go home in Omole, next thing I heard from Jude, she must come on that Pekin. That woman must come on that Pekin. You're talking to her. Do you know how old I was that time, Jude? I was almost 27. Nothing that Jude and Paul didn't do for Lola to take that pregnancy out. To a point, they forged an email. Jude and Paul forged an email. I'll try and trace that email. To frame Lola up. I was on my own in my room one day. Paul came to me and said, Jude send you message. I checked my phone. He said, no, not before phone. For your email. I checked. I read that email for nearly about 20 minutes. An unknown person sent an email to Jude. Jude now forwarded to me. The things I was seeing there were rubbish. Oh, that my son is not my son. According to them, that the unknown person claimed that my son is not my son. That Lola is using the child to trap me. That I don't want to name some notable names that they mention. Mention about 4 notable names. That is that either of them that got Lola pregnant. He said, you don't read and finish. I said, what you go do about her? I said, what are you expecting me to do? Peter, this thing go kill our career. Kill what career, Paul? That my girlfriend is pregnant. Kill what career, Paul? Paul left. I didn't bother. I forwarded that email to Lola. But let me take you guys back a little bit. So, we moved into Omole some years back. Almost like 16 years ago. When we moved to Omole, I was one who found the house, the duplex we were living there. Because I found the house, I have to take the master bedroom. Right? When we moved into the house, Our mom came. She visited us. From Jos, she came. I greeted my mom. This was like when my son was like 5, 6 months old. When my mom visited, of course, I have to give my mom the master bedroom, and I joined Paul's room. My mom didn't come in. No, she came out. You all know our mom is a pastor. She came with 3 of our pastors. When my mom came, next thing, I greeted my mom. I was just smiling. You know, you're expecting like a mother to be like, how is your new baby? My mom didn't ask. My mom just said, hi, is Lola? I just said, she's fine. She said, can you tell her to come tomorrow? I said, okay, you want to see the baby? I'll tell her. She said, no. Let her not come with the baby. I said, Mom, why? You don't want to see the baby? She said, no. Let her come first. My people, how do you guys expect me to call Lola? Because Lola was living on the island, we were living in Omole, mainland. How do you expect me to tell Lola, my mom wants to see you, and Lola will not come with the baby? It took me 3 hours thinking of, I have to go and meet one of the pastors. I said, is there anything? He said, no, don't worry. Your mom said you shouldn't, Lola should not come with the baby. Just leave it that way. I said, okay. And I finally got an idea. And I called Lola. Hey, babe, what's up? My mom is in town. Oh, really? And she wants to see you. She said, oh, nice. She wants to see the baby. Okay, I'm going to give the baby a bath once I get up. You know, I said, Lola was so excited. I said, Lola, do not come with the baby. She was like, why? I said, because we fumigated the house. It's not going to be good for the baby to inhale. She said, when did we do the fumigation? I said, even our mom is actually uncomfortable about it, but she just have to manage. So it's not good for the baby. And I said, okay. The next day, Lola came. She called me that she's at the gate. I went outside. While Lola sat in the living room, I didn't see anybody in the house. I didn't see any of my brothers, the pastors. I didn't I expect to see them in the living room where Lola was. I didn't see any of them. I just said, let me go check. And I opened the door. In that my master bedroom where my mom was, everybody was seated. Even our firstborn, the one that is older than the next person before Jude, that lives in Lagos, was there. Tony, my brother, was there. The pastors were there. Paul and Jude were there. When I came, I said, okay, Lola is around. They said, tell her to come. The way I was walking to go and call Lola, I was uncomfortable. But I didn't say anything. I brought Lola. Entered the room. That was my room. Master bedroom, which there's a bed and there's a couch. Nobody stood up to say, hey, Lola, sit down. Lola just entered. Good morning, ma. Everybody get it. Nobody even cared to say, Lola, come and sit down here or anything. Nobody. I and Lola sat on the floor in my room. I and Lola sat on the floor. Next thing my mom said, young woman, we the Okoye families here have decided you should leave our son alone. I said, Mom, what's going on? Next thing. Now, because few days before that moment, me and Lola had a little quarrel, as a couple quarrel. Lola was looking at me thinking, maybe I planned it to exit the relationship. Lola just said, babe, what's going on? I said, Lola, come on. I said, Mom, what's going on? Next thing Jude just said, leave our brother alone. I look at Jude's face. Jude said, it is like carry water from mouth. I'm like, hey, can anybody? Everyone there tried to calm Jude down. Next thing, Jude just stretched his hand. Because in that my room, I have my son's picture when he was 3 months old by the side of the bed. Jude stretched his hand and picked it and looked at it. Guess what came out of Jude's mouth? For those who understand Igbo. As the way you run now, Oyene, Unwabu, bastard. All Lola heard was bastard. Lola just said, did he just call her? I saw the pastor. I said, Lola, I was just trying to calm Lola down. Lola started crying. Guess what happened? They pushed Lola out of the house. Yes. I was trying to hold Lola. By the time I would tell Lola, stay down, stay down. Lola, calm down. Lola just opened the door. I opened the door to talk. As I opened the door, I didn't even know that Lola came with our son, with the nanny in the car. Lola still brought our son in the car. That means she was like, to her, like, okay, even if our mom, if the child cannot enter the house, her mom can come outside and see the baby in the car. That's how Lola jammed the door, zoomed off, and went back inside. Everybody have left the room, except my mom and one of the pastors. And I said to them, what have you guys done? I told Mom, did you pray before? Our mom, is it like our mom sees vision. I won't lie to you. I asked my mom, I said, did you pray before coming? Next thing our mom said, she came to take care of the situation before she can go and pray. I looked at my mom and her face. I said, this is not right. I left. Guess where I went to? I went to a hotel nearby in Omole. I stayed there alone. For hours. I waited till a particular time. I drove, went to the island. I knocked at the last door. Knocked, she wasn't picking the phone. The cook now came. She said, Madam, don't pack her things, so come out. I said, I will help her pack some bags. I didn't see Lola and my son for over 5 months. 5 months after that incident, my mom came back to Lagos, gathered everybody again, sent for me. I came, I sat down. You guys would have imagined the trauma that was going on with my brothers. We're still doing shows, doing everything together. We sat down. I sat down with everyone in the room again. Here's what happened that very day. The pastor started with the prayers, finished the prayers. And I said, Peter, what we're about to tell you, you might be disappointed. But take it that they say God works in wondrous ways. This might be one of them. As the pastor was, talking, Jude was just hissing. But this time I was now sitting close to the table near the bed. And I said, Peter, stretch your hand, let me have your son's picture. He said, don't worry. I just stretched the same picture that Jude made that statement on. Now look at the picture. Peter, the Spirit of God said we should tell you this. That if anybody insult this boy again, if he's killed, kill that person. This is your blood. I remember I went down on the floor, I started crying. I opened my eyes, everyone had left the room. When everyone left the room, my mom said, why am I crying? That they just told me a good news. I told her, what's good about this news? What? What is good about this news? I went to the wardrobe because it's my room. Started packing my bags. And I looked at my mom's face. I told her, and I said, this thing you started, I pray you'll be alive to witness the end. I left. Went back to that same hotel. When I went to that hotel, I started communicating. Then there's a family friend of Lola who has a son that's older than my son with about a few months. So I'm always calling him, do you know where Lola is? I'll call him, say he doesn't know and all that, But sometimes when I'm talking to him, I can hear a baby crying in the background. So I wasn't, because when Cameron was born, I was not there. It was this guy that was there. You know why? Do you even know why I wasn't even there? I think, oh my God. I wasn't there when my son was born. I bought a ticket to travel to make sure I was there for my son's birth. Could book a show in Akwa Ibom.